Okay, so just think about your day for a second. That article you just scrolled past, the music you streamed in your car, the route your map planned to get you here, every single tap, click, and swipe creates data. And that mountain of data is getting bigger, faster, and honestly, a whole lot messier every single second. So, what does big data really mean anyway? Let's unpack it.
All right, let's kick this off with a little question for you. Think about all the digital stuff that makes up your day. Your emails, those social media posts, the videos you can't stop watching. What's the one thing they all have in common? The answer? Well, it's probably not what you're thinking.
And here it is. They're all forms of unstructured data. Now, if you picture a spreadsheet, everything's in nice, neat little boxes, right? Well, this is the exact opposite of that. This is the messy stuff. It's information that doesn't just slot neatly into a category, which makes it a real headache for computers to try and figure out on their own.
I mean, look at this list. It's basically a snapshot of modern life, isn't it? We're talking about everything from your private chat messages and work emails to the constant stream of data coming off a smartwatch. And here's the kicker. The vast majority of all the data in the world, it looks just like this, unstructured and just flowing everywhere.
So that brings us to the real heart of the matter. If this kind of data is literally everywhere, why is it so famously difficult to manage? What are the actual real-world challenges that make it so hard to put all this information to good use?
To answer that, we're going to borrow a framework that the pros use all the time. It's called the V's. It's a really powerful way to break down this huge, complex topic into 4 distinct, understandable challenges. Here they are: volume, variety, velocity, and veracity. You can think of them as the 4 main hurdles you have to clear in the big data race. If you can get a handle on these 4 things, you can make sense of almost anything. But if you can't, well, you're just lost in the noise. So let's break them down one by one, starting with the most obvious one. First up, volume. When we say big data, the big part is what everyone thinks of first. But the scale, the sheer size of what we're talking about, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. We're not talking about gigabytes or terabytes anymore. The world now operates in zettabytes. So what on earth is a zettabyte? Get this, it's a trillion gigabytes. To put that into perspective, if 1 gigabyte was a single brick, a zettabyte would be enough bricks to build the Great Wall of China 250 times. It's insane. This massive scale immediately creates 2 critical problems. The first is cost. I mean, just finding a place to store all that data gets incredibly expensive incredibly fast. The second is performance. Even if you can afford to store it, trying to process it can slow your systems down to a crawl. It's like a massive digital traffic jam. So you see, volume isn't just one problem. It's a chain reaction. First, you have to find a place to store it all. Then, you need enough computing power to actually process it all, to find that one tiny needle of insight in a zettabyte-sized haystack. And finally, you need fast access, so you're not waiting around for hours just to get an answer. Each step is a massive challenge all on its own. But the challenge isn't just about the size of the data pile. It's also about what's in the pile. And that brings us to our second V, the sheer chaos of variety. Big data isn't one uniform, neat stack of information. Not at all. It's a messy, complicated mix of a million different things. Imagine trying to organize a library where all the books are mixed in with DVDs, paintings, and audio tapes. That's kind of the challenge of variety. And variety itself has layers. It's not just about different media, like text versus video. It's also about structure. Is it in a neat table or a messy document? And semantics, which is really just about what the information actually means. Each layer just adds another dimension of complexity to the puzzle. Okay, so we've got a mountain of messy data. Now let's add 2 more challenges that are deeply connected: the incredible speed at which it's arriving and our ability to actually trust it. This brings us to velocity and veracity. Velocity is all about speed. How fast is data being created, and how quickly do we need to act on it? Think of stock market data or a live feed of social media posts. But then there's veracity, which is all about truth. Is the data accurate? Can you rely on it? It really boils down to this fundamental conflict. Is it fast versus is it true? And that's the fundamental tension right there. The faster the data floods in, the less time you have to check it, to verify it. Just imagine breaking news spreading on social media. The high velocity means the information is everywhere, instantly, but the veracity, its truthfulness, is often a total unknown. In many ways, speed becomes the enemy of truth.
Veracity can fail in a couple of major ways. First, the data can just be wrong from the very beginning, like a simple typo in a customer's address. Or second, the data just gets old and stale. That same address was perfect 5 years ago, but now it's outdated and totally misleading.
So let's recap. We have this massive, messy, fast-moving, and potentially untrustworthy flood of data. It sounds like a complete nightmare. Which brings us to the single most important part of this entire explainer. After all the headaches, all the work it takes to deal with these 4 immense challenges, what's the ultimate goal? I mean, why do we even bother trying to tame this beast? The answer is surprisingly simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. The entire point of wrestling with all this data is to turn that complexity into one thing: real value. We're talking about tangible insights that can predict market trends, accelerate medical research, or build smarter, more efficient cities.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. We've defined the challenges, but the story of big data is still being written. As our world generates more and more data every single second, the ultimate question isn't just how we manage it, but what we, as a society, decide its true value will be. What problems will we choose to solve?